Saw fit to send only 5 flags here. I'm going to have to send Paula a little piece of my mind that a 6th one would have been awfully nice. But let me introduce myself. My name is Dave Johnson. I'm the marketing manager at The Great Escape. Been with the park for, this will be my 3rd season coming up, so almost 2 years, 2.5 seasons at the end of the upcoming season. So I'm a relative newcomer with the park. I'll give you some rundown of the history of the park. How many of you have been to The Great Escape, first off? Most of you are probably fairly familiar, but for those who aren't, we'll run through some of the background of our park. Opened in 1954. Charlie Wood was our founder. Original name was Storytown. We feature over 135 rides, shows, and attractions, 6 coasters, of course, an included water park, and we're the only Six Flags property that's a true full resort experience. And the reason that we can call ourselves that is the Great Escape Lodge. How many have been to that part of our property? All right, not quite as many, but that makes sense because it's an easy 2-hour drive from here. Our Six Flags Great Escape Lodge features 200 Adirondack-themed suites. It has a full indoor water park. There's a lobby, beautifully themed there. Has an Adventure Track interactive game that we installed last year. There's a kind of a view of the outside of that water park. We have a flow rider for those of you who are into board sports and what have you. It's kind of a wide shot of the indoor water park. It's 38,000 square feet of 80-degree comfort year-round. And that is Johnny Rocket's, actually, that is the Johnny Rocket's Sports Lounge. And you can see there, that's a bar, and you can have one of the famous Johnny Rocket's milkshakes. And if you're 21 years or older with an ID in your hand, you can make it a little extra there. We have 6 coasters at the Great Escape. Steam and Demon opened in 1984. It's our oldest existing coaster there, 1 loop and double corkscrew. The Boomerang, of course, everyone is familiar with the Boomerang. 6 inversions during the forward and backward cycle. The Alpine Bobsled, one of the most sought-after credits at the park. It's one of only 3 operating Intamin bobsled coasters in the world, 2 in the United States. The other one is at Six Flags over Texas. The Canyon Blaster, an original ride from Opryland, going a little bit further back. We put it up in 2003, and of course it's a mine train coaster. And I'll save the best for last, of course. It's Frankie's Mine Train. Zamperla Kiddie Coaster there. And you get to go around 3 times, I believe, right? Does that count, what? 3 credits there, so there you go. And of course, the Comet. Debuted in 1994. Of course, it has a long history going back to Ontario. And how many of you knew this? I'm sure that probably at least half the room. The station building that is currently in use for the Comet is actually the original Crystal Beach Cyclone Station. I have 1 hand, 2 hands. And there's a side-by-side for you if you don't believe me. There's the Crystal Beach Cyclone on the left. Kind of zoom in there on the Comet Station on the right. So a little piece of history there as well. Of course, we have a wide array of flat rides and family attractions, including the Screamin' Eagle Flying Scooters ride there in the top left there. That was new in 2013. And in 2014, we debuted Extreme Supernova, the swinging, spinning pendulum ride that gives you a great feeling of weightlessness right there in front of the Comet. Splashwater Kingdom is included with your admission, all kinds of water slides. And new for 2015 is Buccaneer Beach. Buccaneer Beach. There we go. That's what it looks like right now, and this is actually it's the original portion of Splashwater Kingdom. Currently, or up to this point, it was named Noah's Spray Ground. Charlie Wood kind of spearheaded the effort to add a water element to the Great Escape, and that's part of what it looked right there. I'll kind of step through here of what that transformation is going to look like. We're going to retheme that ship, turn it into a pirate ship. We're going to replace all of the water play elements that surround it with new ones. So everything is going to get spruced up very nicely, and it's going to be great for families. We had a high thrill attraction that we added last year with Extreme Supernova. We thought it best, especially considering the history of the park, the family focus of our park, to go back to a family attraction and improvement for 2015. And there's a kind of a look there at the layout. The pool arrangement is largely the same. Of course, the ship in the center will retain those 2 water slides that come off the back of it. But all the things you see there in the water surrounding it will be new. We're going to refinish all the concrete and expand the lounging space toward the left of this image, toward the Mega Wedgie slide, adding more seating and more shade. So that's a big request in any water park, and we're glad to oblige that request at the Great Escape in 2015. It's also going to require some traffic flow adjustments for the Mega Wedgie, and you'll see that once all this opens on Memorial Day weekend. I have a few winter shots that we took about a week and a half ago. John Rossell, our new PR coordinator there, and I took a walk around in our boots shortly after about an 8-inch snowfall about a week and a half ago. This, of course, is the Steam and Demon, and you may, probably just in the front rows, you'll be able to see that's West Mountain Ski Area. In the background there, we have a local ski area, and it's a great add-on to your Great Escape Lodge vacation in the winter. There's the pink whale, all covered in snow. These kittens lost their mittens. They could really use some. This is Chicken Chalet. We're doing some improvements inside to improve the traffic flow. The front gate area, of course, gets sealed up there. You can see, kind of see the wooden plugs there around the openings on the bottom there. Many of you probably don't know this. Charlie Wood, above the entrance turnstiles, built a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. So as you're walking into the park, imagine that above you is this rather opulent apartment with all kinds of, there's a fireplace, it's enormous. I've been up there, it still looks great. And as you're walking in or out, take a look inside the window. There's a dining room table and chairs that's right part of that kitchen area there. So it's a little bit of interesting trivia. So the Black Cobra slides, Extreme Supernova with quite a lot of snow in front of it. Alpine bobsled, once again. It's not all of that is theming, some of that is. Comet, about a foot of snow on those rails there on the lower portions of it. And then, of course, there's that guy. That's give me nightmares. Off-season maintenance around the park, of course. There's the Condor cars. They're in the bumper car arena there, along with the bumper cars themselves. We, of course, take everything and put them under cover, including, that's one of the original rides dating back to 1954, the Swan boats. There's the Canada sled from the bobsled. Under roof in the warmer weather, we do the annual scheduled maintenance of all the vehicles, including the coaster trains, or Steam and Demon. There's one of our maintenance techs working on the lap bar mechanism of one of the Comet trains. I thought that was an interesting shot, looking straight through one of the train cars with no seats. They're gonna check that box on the checklist before we put that one back on the track. There's a that's a boomerang shell getting positioned, and if I can get behind the podium, hopefully can show you the high-tech process of getting that married together. There we go. And that's it. And I assure you, I believe that technique is called shoving. And it's, I assure you though that the next step in that procedure is to fully secure the two together. But we just happened to be there at that moment that they were putting that train car back together, and thought that it'd be interesting to share. We've got a number of special events and a lot of great reasons for you to visit us this year. Of course, opening weekend is a week earlier than it was last year, so May 16th and 17th we'll be opening the park. For those of you who don't have season passes, $20, 15-cent admission if you buy it online. It's online right now, so take out your phones, buy your tickets. Buccaneer Beach and the water park opens the following weekend. We've got 3 days of after-hours ERT. It's listed here as Discover ERT. Anybody with a season pass or a Discover card can stay after hours and ride selected rides. Those 3 dates, June 14th, July 12th, and August 9th. Roller coaster race is July 18th, and I understand you're going to hear more about that later on today. But you can go to rollercoasterrace.com for information about that event. National Roller Coaster Day is, last year we did a great kind of amazing race style thing where we gave some guests cards to check off all the coasters in the park and then come back and win a t-shirt. We'll probably do something similar. Oktoberfest, music, food, and beer. And of course, Frightfest is coming up. Bigger and scarier than ever. Just gaze into those eyes for one more beat. And also wanted to share with you a message from our park president, Eric Gilbert. He, as well, along with all of us, loves Ace and all the support you give us. So hopefully this movie works, and we'll hear a few quick words from Eric Gilbert.
Hi, I'm Eric Eric Gilbert, Park President of Six Flags Great Escape Resort. Coming on the heels of our 60th anniversary season, we have an action-packed calendar filled with exciting events along with our all-new Buccaneer Beach. I invite each of you to visit the Great Escape and experience all that we have to offer, to include the Alpine Bobsled, the Extreme Supernova, and your favorite and ours, the Comet. It's important for you to know just how grateful we are for your partnership with us, and we look forward to our continued partnership in the years to come. Thank you, and have a great escape.
Thanks, Eric. And I thank you. That's the extent of my PowerPoint deck presentation here, and I'll open up the floor to any questions if you happen to have any for us. No questions. Crickets. Yes, in the back.
We actually spend a night in the apartment.
That's an interesting question. And I'll talk with Russ and Wade, and maybe that could become something that we incorporate into one of these events in the future. I can't give you a yes. I can't quite turn on a dime like a gentleman from Berkshire East did, but it is something that we have offered in other events, like for Double H Ranch, fundraising type of things. So that might be something that we could offer, and it is an interesting piece of history up there. So it's a great question. Any other questions? In the back, behind the red, there you go, in the checkered shirt there. Public transportation. I think you could. It might be a difficult puzzle to put together. I will admit we're a little bit more isolated up there near the Adirondacks, but I believe it is possible. There's an Amtrak. Let me try to think here. There's an Amtrak station that also serves as a bus station in the Albany Rensselaer area. From there, you can probably use the Albany bus system to connect you to South Glens Falls, which is about 5 miles from the park. And there's also the Glens Falls bus system from there. So I think there's only 2 buses a day that go from Albany up to South Glens Falls, one in the morning and one in the evening, if I'm not mistaken. But it is possible, and I appreciate the commitment there, because it's not necessarily the most convenient thing sometimes for the more far-flung parks like ours. Thank you. Over here.
I believe you're correct, because I was considering doing, I can't drive myself, so I was considering doing something, and I believe he's correct on the only 2 buses at one time. But best of luck. It's one of the most frustrating things about the fact that I can't drive.
Yeah, it's as an area, we're a little bit more spread out up there, so it is a little more difficult. But I believe it's possible with some commitment and dedication, and of course, an overnight at the Six Flags Great Escape Lodge would help out a great deal with that planning, because we can spread that out a bit across 2 days. I think I saw a hand over here. Yes.
What's the status on Mine Train? Do you still have some seats backwards? I really enjoyed that.
The question was, is Canyon Blaster Mine Train still running some seats backwards? And the answer is no. We did that as a short-term promotion, if you will, for that 1 year. So at this point, I'm afraid the answer is no. But it was successful, so that certainly doesn't rule it out in the future. Guests enjoyed that, as you are a great example of. Any other questions? Yes.
Future plans for Nightmare?
Future plans. Yes, it's currently the Nightmare Building. Future plans for the Nightmare Building was the question. The coaster, of course, is not there anymore. That building is currently in use day to day as more of a warehouse space. It's a big building, as you know. We started a couple years ago using the queue and both the outdoor and the indoor queue as a Frightfest haunted house, which actually shared the name Nightmare. It's a great building. It's a big building. It's a prominent building. So it's not a building that we'll forget about. So the long-term plans always change, but it's there. It's hard to forget. So it's as good a question or as good an answer I can give to your question.
Whatever became of the coaster that came from Astro World that never got installed?
Coaster from Astro World that never got installed. The suspended looping coaster?
Yeah.
That's up at La Ronde.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can still enjoy that up there. Yeah, it's just a short 2 to 3 hour drive away from the park. Yes, sir. Last question.
Did you change the name of them?
It was the proper name of the park, and before I wrap up this question, the folks here on our team, I thank them for coming to Great Nor'easter. They have some gift sets that we want to give you, so they're going to make their way through the table and hand one out to each of you. But the question, was the name of the park always Six Flags Great Escape? And the answer is no, and it is not Six Flags Great Escape. It's the Great Escape, a Six Flags theme park. However, when we, it's kind of hard to see on this background. This is kind of the combined logo that speaks to the entire resort. And the lodge official name is Six Flags Great Escape Lodge. And so when we speak to it as a full property, incorporating the lodge, it's Six Flags Great Escape Resort, or Six Flags Great Escape Theme Park and Lodge. So it's a little bit of a long, complicated answer. The park itself is the Great Escape, a Six Flags theme park, and the lodge and the resort complex are prefaced by Six Flags. So, all right. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. And we'll see you at the Great Escape.